Nigga, it's about damn time. It's about damn time. We walk in the room and it causes commotion. It's about damn time. We covered in diamonds that look like the ocean. It's about damn time. We showing these niggas that we have emotion. Showing that we have emotion.
So let's talk about college football 27, man, because while I was gone, EA is back into some, and some of the that they in is, I called it, or I can say we called it. EA know that them putting the XP slider in the game was a massive mistake in the first place, because now we are able to play the game how we want to. Yo, Fat Man, thank you for the 10-3 sub 36 minutes ago. Again, I was gonna play your alert, but thank you. So now they on the point of where they're saying they're not gonna put that back in the game, which is insane.
You're stupid, and I think EA thinks that you're stupid, and I think they're lying to the community about listening to our feedback. It just blows my mind the way they have responded. We have a new response. We have a new update on what could be coming to the game, and I feel like they just don't care at all. It was basically a big FU to the community for speaking out. Of course, I've already touched on it, but they did address the microtransactions, and this is still a major win for us. We got the microtransactions out of the game. However, I said in my video, I'm concerned about their goal for live service plans in 28 and beyond. They want to deliver valuable features and whatever other content they can justify spending on. The first thing I'll say about this is if you provide new value, if you provide something that is going to enhance our experience, instead of the way you just tried to slip microtransactions in, let's not forget about this. Let's not forget about the blind side I felt as a creator, not knowing that that was in the game, that no one said anything about. Let's not forget about that. Let's not forget that you thought,
praying that I get a PC one day, because PC college football is actually peak. I'm glad you said that. I bought college football on PC. Y'all had told me that I couldn't play it early, and I said I was gonna refund it, but then I didn't do it. The reason why I didn't do it is because I knew once I was done with my 2 characters, my next characters are going to be on PC, just because of the modding. PC is better for creativity. The console is comfortable. I'm always going to be a console. Well, I don't want to say always now, because PlayStation kind of fucked me up. I was always going to be a console only guy. The past 4 months, that's changed. I think I'm primarily a PC gamer now, because when it comes down to it, first and foremost, Steam ain't my friend, but they own less bullshit than PlayStation, at least right now. But also too, the modding of the games, you can't beat it. What's going on college football is fire. Oops, on screen.
thought this would just blow over in the first place, because when they're addressing all these statements, that's the first thing on my mind. You know, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. I want to say you can earn this community trust back, but then when you triple down the way that you did, it just pulls everything farther apart. Anyway, I'll go on my little tangent later on in this video on how I believe they could actually provide some value if they wanted to find ways to make more revenue. I'm not stupid. Video games have to continue to do that. What they've decided to do, though, is just not the way to go about it. It's going to really upset a lot of your core fan base that just wants to love the games that you're putting out. It makes it hard whenever you put out a great game, like 27 is.
Yes, it is.
But then there's this side of things. It really ruins a lot of trust that you've built up.
Game,
you say you're moving fast to respond to the feedback, so we got to stay tuned for that follow-up. And this is where I feel like they're lying about listening to the community, that they love us, because I don't think they listened at all. I mean, I'll continue to reiterate, it's a major deal that they were willing to back down on the paid progression options, and I believe they could take the games in the future in a better direction if they stick to that word, and it's not just something they do for 27. However, I don't like how they've responded back to the other concerns the community had, because it was remove microtransactions and bring back the sliders that you took from the last 2 games and just removed, which was to encourage potentially spending on microtransactions. Well, now that the microtransactions are not there, you would think common sense is let's give them back that freedom that they want, that sandbox experience for an offline game mode. Let players just play the game that they want to play in whatever.
Bam. If I want to boot up Road to Glory and start off as a 99 overall freshman at Wyoming University, I should be able to do that. Why the can't I do that? Who am I hurting if I do that? It's an offline mode, gang. Now, if you want to be a guy that's a 70 overall freshman and work your way up in the SEC, then I understand. That's cool. You should be able to play a game like that. But nobody should be limited as far as what the you can and can't do in an offline game. But guess what? They seen our complaints, so let's call it in the offline mode. I'm calling it. In the next 3 college footballs, your Road to Glory players will have some online elements so they can justify the balancing and keeping the game a certain way.
Way that they want. That is all that the community is asking for, to give them that freedom that you've sold them on for the last few years. However, what did they do? The complete opposite. They've tripled down, and it blows my mind. I'm going to start with Road to Glory because it's even more outrageous over there. Standalone XP sliders are not returning because progression in College Football 27 is now built around the full structure of the mode. It's interesting that in all of these different things,
But the thing is, this is not a good example. This is EA, the heads of EA, acting like their customers are complete idiots and they don't understand that even if the progression is built in these, if you turn up the sliders for how much you get per, like let's say for example, from NIL deals, from your legacy score, from difficulty, from weekly decisions, the slider would all still work. It would all still work, gang. But they acting like, oh, no, we can't do that.
They don't mention the microtransactions that they also tried to put in there where progression could be built around it in a way. We got it out of the game, but there are certain design decisions that with the way that you tried to just sneak it in there, we now have to question, why was the game designed this way? Why did you make it so players that are 5 stars now start as a 72, 73 overall instead of like an 80 overall, so they have to upgrade a lot more? It's intentional, but was it intentional to make the game harder? Or was it intentional to potentially get more money?
And, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I did not realize how all the 5 stars start like that, but he's right, because when I made Kevin Teston was a 5-star tight end, right? When we made him and we got to college, he was dead as a 74 overall, if I had to guess. What do you mean I'm starting as a 74 overall, dog? What do you mean? That's nuts. Road to Glory has a glitch where you can't transfer after your junior year. Your cap breakers don't even work right. After you're in all 25, you can't use them. Get the fuck out of here. You can't use them anymore.
Out of the microtransactions, because in Dynasty, 5 stars are still about an 80 overall, but in Road to Glory, it's magically a 70.
In Dynasty, they're an 80. But in Road to Glory, they make you a 74.
72, a 73. You're lucky if you get a 74. I'm going to be honest, most of this isn't even worth reading. It's just trying to gaslight you on why the game got harder and why it can't have any other way to play besides the one way that they want you to. We all know why these decisions were made. If you have any little bit of intelligence, you understand it. It's just the tripling down. The core structure is intentional and is the foundation of Road to Glory moving forward. I don't think that they're going to back down on this. I think they are just going to stand on the fact that even if the microtransactions aren't there this year, maybe they give you that option next year because they made you so frustrated. They don't care about the freedom that you have that could make the game a little bit more enjoyable. And this is what I just don't understand, because when wear and tear doesn't work the way that is intended, when it has its issues, because it's not always tuned properly, we have those sliders to correct it. If we think the XP sliders are a little bit off, we have them to correct your mistakes. And if you're taking out these sliders that allow us to correct your mistakes, it makes the game less enjoyable, because the reality of the situation is everybody enjoys it in a different way. They have a different idea of how they're going to have fun on the game. If they want to have a 99 overall immediately and just decide to rip on teams, they should be able to do that because that is their experience. They're offline. You're not offsetting any gameplay advantages that you all refer to. It's an offline game mode. You're going to have a bigger player base that can have more fun, that is going to keep enjoying your games, that might stumble into anything you want to do in the future with microtransactions, with online. Any of that that could be in the plans, they might stumble into that just because they're having fun on the game, but you're not going to get them in the door. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to trust your word. If you continue to just say over and over again, no, you have to play our way, and if you want to do any differently, you're wrong. I'm being a little bit too nice about this as well. Let's just reiterate. Paid progression, that was good. Once the paid progression is gone, though, all of a sudden it's a gameplay imbalance to have those sliders in. So you are cool with people paying you to get the gameplay advantage, but...
Yo, Bordeaux, you cooking. Y'all so worried about somebody having gameplay advantages, but you didn't care if they paid you money. Oh, all our morals go out the door.
But since we can't pay you anymore, since you can't make money off of it, all of a sudden the gameplay advantage isn't cool at all. I just don't understand why you're even going down this path.
Runchy, that's where I'm at with that, with not just that game, but all these games. Why the fuck is all of these games online? Every game should not be mandatory online, my nigga. Especially sports games. It's offline modes that if my shit go off, I can't even use the fucking characters. Road to Glory should never be an online mode at all. At all.
Because it's such a clear contradiction that people are not stupid. People are going to see right through that. Actually, I take it back. Some people aren't going to see right through it. There's already people that are getting on me like, oh, you're just whining now. You're just complaining. No, I see the direction that they're taking the game that I love. The game that I want to be as perfect as possible, that I want as many people to play, that I want to be as big as possible as a sports game. It made me so happy college football was the biggest sports game when it came out in 25. I just want to see it continue to get pushed. More people to get into college football, more kids to get into it. And instead, I see these decisions that are doing the complete opposite, that are going to take away from potentially new people getting into it. On the Dynasty side, it's the same type of gaslighting. I love that rebuilds got harder. They were too easy. It was happening too quick. Everything they've done on that front, outside of removing some of their sliders and the freedom to players, is incredible. I'm having so much fun with the Hawaii series. I just don't agree with the coach progression has to support that new experience when you were cool with us paying for our coach progression.
All of that shit go out the door about you saying, yo, we can't turn it up because we built it around this certain way. And if for the game to flow the right way, you need to go through it this way. Then why the fuck could people just pay for that day one? It don't make sense. You're literally fucking lying to me.
But now that we can't pay, oh, no way you can progress a little bit faster. Another little issue is Dynasty and your coach progression is based around a 20 to 30 year career. I think you're better basing that off of like a 10 to 15 year career. How many people are getting 25, 30 years?
I've never got 25, 30 years in the Dynasty mode. I be having fun with it. I do my thing, but then, yo, either I want to go build up another program and with the original roster, like I don't want that roster that's too that deep into it, or I want to go play Road to Glory or something.
Years into their...
So you should not be having everything based off a 20, 30 year, because if we go based off the averages, most people that play Dynasty never even get to 20 to 30 years. It's fucking ridiculous.
Save. I don't think that is a very high percentage. The coach trees already aren't all that enjoyable because every time there's something fun in there, it just gets removed. They make it even harder, which is cool if you're going to have a hard dynasty, but not everyone wants to have a hard dynasty. There's just a freedom that you could give players that I want to see again. I want to see that vision that they would always talk about. Just a bunch of trying to double down, triple down, whatever you want to say at this point. They did reintroduce the new XP sliders. It's not the same that it was, though. Instead of bringing back what was fastest on College Football 26, instead they're bringing back what the faster setting was. Why not just make it the fastest? They say that it is going to break the...
This is dead ass them just being spiteful. Like, they already feel, and yo, hey, thank you for the raid, gang. I appreciate you. And they don't want to get a community everything they want. They just dead as being spiteful.
Game. They don't want to compromise the long-term progression
Rush Hour,
that
Bad Boys.
The Dynasty Blueprint is designed to deliver, but they're willing to compromise on the long-term progression if you pay them money. That is the part about this whole statement, the whole way they've gone about this, that really throws me off, because I believed when they backed down on microtransactions, they were also going to back down on the sliders. They were going to give us back the stuff that was in the past two games, because the only reason it would make sense for them to be taken out was to guide you into potentially spending more money. There was an opportunity here for EA to have the greatest layup of all time, to show that they're listening to the community, that they made a mistake. And this is where I want to get into potentially more revenue. Again, I'm not stupid. I know video games need to find ways to make more money at some point. You have to add value. You have to add value. And the college community is so loyal. I really hope that you all at EA that are watching this are listening to this, because the college community is the most loyal community you're going to get. That is why it breaks my heart. This is how you all are going about addressing this. Because if you brought something that would add value, people are much more willing to pay instead of removing features that were just there and then giving us that option. It's just ridiculous. It's an offline game mode. People are not going to be inclined to spend on an offline game mode to beat up on the computer. But let's say you want to bring in something like FCS schools. What if each school was a couple of bucks? What if for the whole...
And then let me tell you the problem with these motherfucking modes whenever they bring this shit back into the game. Yo, eventually, hey, I promise y'all, next year, please do the same thing whenever they try to whenever they try to implement these modes back into, or implement those features back into the game. Because me, I'm a kind of person where I like to play older games. When they start to shut the fucking servers off of these games, a lot of those features, they do not convert that into things that you can use later. They become lost media. You can't get any of it. It officially don't exist. Here's an example. One of the series that we did this year, I was been going to do that series. Saving Jamarcus Russell. Madden 10. They had a DLC in the game where if you buy the DLC, it was $5 at the time. You can use any player on that game and do a career mode with them. Okay, what's the problem? Now that those servers is shut off and I cannot access the store to buy that, I can't use any player to get that shit. It's officially gone. They don't convert the modes over. When they change the fucking servers, they leave you assed out, you fried. You think I'm lying? Go look it up. It's the fucking mode is so rare. No, so many people didn't talk about it. It's only like one or maybe 2 or 3 Operation Sports article that talk about it. And it's people that was in the same boat as me saying, yo, how do we get this DLC? Here's another example. Fight Night Champion. You can get plenty of characters in that game. You cannot get Baby Bishop. Because either you had to buy Baby Bishop, if you don't know who Baby Bishop is, that's your main character's little brother that was bigger than him. Either you had to buy him or you had to go to a Pepsi website to fucking put something in. The Pepsi website don't exist anymore. So if you wanted to use Baby Bishop in that game, you can't fucking get him. It's now lost media. You don't know how many fire ideas that I had on some of these older games. I can't use them. I can't do nothing with them because they locked them behind DLC and we can never do nothing with them. It's Google, bro, I promise you I've Googled it. Bro, nigga, if I didn't know Chase was asleep, me and Chase spent hours in Discords, hours in Operation Threads, in Reddits, trying to get some of the DLCs that I wanted to find. You cannot get them, my boy. They're gone. No mods neither. No, they're gone. They're gone. Now, the good thing about it now, that people starting to mod, the odds of it happening is not high. But it happens. YouTube nigga something? What you mean? Emulation? Yeah, because of emulation, but I promise y'all, bro, if you trying to tell me to do X, Y, and Z, nigga, I wasted whole days and y'all like, bro, why the fuck you doing late streams? Because, nigga, I was trying to do that. I was trying to find a way to do that. That shit gone, bro.
Whole FCS pack, you have to pay $20. What if you go down the Football Manager pathway, and if you want this special in-game editor where you can edit every team, every conference name, every conference logo, you could make Ohio State a 0-star prestige with a 0 budget to start Dynasty instead of them starting off. Like, there are so many things that I think other offline games do that you could go down that path of where you feel like you're adding value, where the consumer doesn't feel like you're just taking away from core features. I say it with FCS schools because it's not FBS college football, what the game is based around. But people still would love to have FCS schools.
Absolutely.
I don't know. There are so many ways you could come up with better than how you implemented it, better with how you went about it, with just trying to quietly get it through there. And this is me coming off the dome 1 minute thinking about ways that you could make more money. We want the series to come around. We want to support the series.
All sports games
right
are
now,
bad place, but
the only way I see this being a fun, open experience is no longer on console. It's getting the game on PC.
Yep. And the problem is, once they start to see how successful that game is on PC, I don't know how long that they put it on there. Because the smart fan gets this game on PC and just turn it into the mode that you want. Now, modding is not easy. It's annoying a little bit, but that's what the smart fan does. But I can see them doing some weird shit where they make the game harder to mod.
And using a bunch of the mods that make the game so much better off rip. I am very thankful you all brought it to PC for reasons like that. They also are going to touch on some of their updates and what they're working on to fix things. They've always done a good job of addressing most of the biggest issues in the community. So that's why this big FU to the community on just wanting the freedoms back inside their own offline files really threw me off. Like this Hawaii F-grade proximity to home. This has happened every single year. I'm doing Hawaii for a series. It's frustrating. But you know what? It'll eventually be fixed. I can have a lot of grace. I can have a lot of patience. But what I don't have any patience with is trying to gaslight the community, trying to tell the community that you're doing things with the intent of just how the game should work, when we know that's not true. When we know that if the microtransactions were still there, you're totally cool with people bypassing all of your intent in making it harder. I think my final ask to EA would just be listen to the community. Please, it will take you all so much further. I know it might not seem like it, but we want to back you. We want to feel like we're being listened to, and we don't right now. I don't want to just make constant videos ripping. I want to have fun with the game. I don't want to turn my whole main channel into just laying it into you all every time. I don't want to have to go under every tweet on Twitter asking for stuff back. I'm about to leave for a few days, and I haven't even been able to do stuff around my normal content because I've just felt blindsided by all this. I feel like it's not the direction you'll have been describing for years. And there is still time to make right, but every single time you triple down, you quadruple down, you lose more and more trust. And we're reminded, hey, they tried to get those microtransactions in and hope no one would say anything. We can overlook certain things, just listen.
Yo, that is a great video. He literally not lying. And yeah, the biggest thing that's going on right now is that EA just think that they think that their community is absolute idiots, to be real, bro. Like, but it goes to show what they think of you. And you got to just listen to it. Like, bro, they dead ass think that they can just put these stupid ass microtransactions in the game and then turn around after we make them take them out of the game. Be like, yo, but we care about the integrity of the game. If you cared about the integrity of the game, you would have not allowed people to bypass these critical features day one if they opened up their fucking wallet. Like, there's no way you can say that. There's no way you can, like, spin that any other way. What are we talking about? What the hell is Kai doing? What they got going on? Why the fuck is Lacey riding around in a wheelchair? That shit funny as hell, bro.